going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I got to have a conversation with you guys about Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's the word, Vitoy Royale? J Hustler Reacts. I'll answer that question shortly. No problem. No problem. What's up, friends? Man, I had a great time on the show last night. Shout out to all of the panel members. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. We appreciate y'all for showing love and rocking out. Hopefully y'all had just as good of a time as we have, or we did. Wednesday night, Relationship Wednesdays was popping. We got after hours tonight with Slimmy, Molly, me, Lex, Miss Sanchez, all of my friends. What's happening, y'all? What's going on? I slept like a baby last night. You lost a few brain cells? I slept like a baby last night. Yes, I did. Like a little child. I got so much sleep. I feel so reinvigorated. Woke up this morning, hit the gym. I feel good. I feel good. Somebody said go Cavs. Oh, yeah, the Pistons won last night. Banchero and K went toe-to-toe. Both of them put up 45 points. Tom may have pulled up to the game yesterday, but I was a little bit more incognito so I can get up out of there and then get back to live streaming at 10 o'clock. So that was awesome. Everybody was in a good spirit. Let me read some of these cash apps and super chats. I think it's going to be a great, great day today. I do. Let me see what's happening out here in these streets. Shout out to Rand Wilson, says AD, Sheriff Hudson indicted in Louisiana. Send me the story. Send me the story, big dog. Mike that dude in the building. Mike that dude says, what up, though, to the bag chasers. Salute to the chasers. I got a new vlog dropping for y'all today. Lamborghini vlog. We going to talk about that shortly. To the chasers. Spencer Campbell says, good morning, AD and the bag chasers. What up, Spencer? Thank you, bro. Thank you for always supporting the platform. Mike that dude. Thank y'all for always holding me down. Coach Chris says, AD, if you can be a season ticket holder for a sports team not in Detroit or Dallas, where would it be? Why? Which sport and why? Always basketball. That's always going to be basketball. I just got a love for basketball in general. And What sports team? I can't even think of nothing outside of Detroit. All I care about is Detroit basketball. Isaiah Thomas, Vinnie Johnson, Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Rasheed Wallace. That's all I know. All I know is Bill Laimbeer, Joe Dumars, Buddha Edwards, John Sally, Rick Mahorn. That's all I know, bro. That's all I know. I don't know how to say anything anybody else. If I have to pick, sports team, NBA sports team outside of Detroit, NBA sports team outside of Detroit, NBA sports team outside of Detroit, NBA sports team outside of Detroit. It's going to have to be one of the expansion teams. Whatever Las Vegas come up with. Whatever Las Vegas come up with is what my second team is going to be. It's going to be one of the expansion teams. I'm pretty sure Vegas is going to get a team. And it's got to be one of those. It's got to be a Vegas team. Vegas. That's where we go. Because I can't think of any other team that I would actually pick that I will rock with. I don't like no other teams. Like, I truly don't like no other team. I don't care about no other team. Which NBA team is going to make it out of the West for the finals? The Spurs. Spurs are going to make it out. But see, here's the problem with that is because it's too easy to bandwagon. It's a whole. I remember everybody used to be Golden State fans. Now ain't nobody no Golden State fan because they're not winning no more. It's a lot of bandwagoners, and it's not no real true sports fans. Because if you're a true sports fan, and you like, for example, if you from Michigan, you went to Michigan, you worked at Michigan, you took a class at Michigan, you love Michigan or Michigan State, you hate Ohio State. We don't rock with Wisconsin. We don't rock with Nebraska. We don't rock with Ohio State. We don't rock with any of these other rivalries inside of the Big Ten. So we don't roll with y'all. We respect y'all, but we don't roll with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no real sports fans no more because everybody liked the Chicago Bulls because Jordan was on it. Nobody don't like the Chicago Bulls all of a sudden. Everybody was rocking with, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to be a real sports fan. And it ain't no real sports fans. It's some bad bandwagon fans out here that's rolling around pretending like they truly care about anything. How you going to be a Dallas Cowboys fan and you ain't, first of all, you ain't from Dallas. Secondly, because my father liked it. Man, get out of here, bro. Get your own mindset. You know what I'm saying? Los Angeles and Detroit hated Boston when I was growing up. We didn't like Larry Bird. We didn't like Magic Johnson. We didn't like the Bulls. We didn't like Jordan. I still don't like the Bulls. I still don't like the Lakers. The only reason I'm even tolerating them is because Kareem is my favorite player of all time outside of Isaiah Thomas, and LeBron is on there. But we don't rock with these other people, man. We don't rock with y'all. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's, you know what I'm saying? Coach Chris says, AD, what's the most foolish financial investment right now? And what do you think is the best financial investment in any industry? The best financial investment is always going to, well, it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to save on your taxes, then real estate is always a good play, but you got to figure out how you want to invest in real estate. That's why you want to get into the Patreon, because we break down all of the different ways that you can make money in real estate. Stock market is always mutual funds, the stock market, ETFs. That's always the safest. Betting on the S&P, that's always the safest investment. Always. Your stuff is always going to go up. It's always going to compound over time, and it's always going to generate revenue. So those are the two most best investments. Actually, the best investment that you can make is in yourself, because you need to generate more revenue so that you can make more money. The worst investment that you can make is in somebody else, because you can't control that. Eric Harris says the Detroit refs made sure they extended the first. What do you mean? We was up by 18. There we go. That's why I say patience, my friend. Patience. We'll see. We'll see when it all shake out. Last OG313 says, what up, though, bro? Just want to say love your show and go Pistons. They refused to go down without a fight last night. We going to win this series. A lot of people don't realize that we going to win this series. But, I'm going to just relax. I'll let the naysayers say what they want to say. And we going to show up. We're a young team, but we'll figure it out. We play behind. Like, we've been playing behind all year. But when we get out and we punch you in the face in the beginning, it ain't no coming back. Y'all never led. 392Q says your Pistons look good. Chad Bianco for Cali. Chad Bianco for Cali governor. 392Q says, which NBA team would you want to make it out the West? I don't care who make it out the West. I only care about who make it out the East. I don't care about the West. Chris Cunningham says, I got a good topic for tonight on Room 9. Hit me with it then. Or email me with it. 392Q says, been a Spurs fan since 08. It was hard going through 2017 through 25. Drought, but we made it. A real fan. Got to love the team through ups and downs. That's a fact. B. Ray Rise says, AD, I've got a date this week and I'm planning it out. I told her I'm taking her for sushi since that's her favorite, but I want to do something after. I was thinking sushi and a movie, but what do you think? Why y'all promising women stuff before you do it? When you promise stuff, you show that basically shows an excitement, like you're overly excited. You don't want to get too high. You don't want to get too low. You just want to kind of, matter of fact, I like to say, create lower expectations and then exceed them. Under promise, over deliver. Under promise, over deliver. Never tell her, hey man, I'm gonna take you out for sushi this week. No, don't do that. Hey, listen, you want to go out? Where are we going? I don't know. I got a couple places in mind I want to show you. You said you want to do something after? Don't. Ooh, Anton, they don't like that. But I want to do something after. Don't. Take her. Minimize the amount of time that you spend. Create high expectations. And then create a desire for her to see you again. Don't spend too much time, bro. Take her out. Let's go get some sushi. Take her back home. Let her wish for you to come back. And don't try to hit the same night. Don't be desperate. Don't be thirsty. Don't do too much. Just stay cool, stay calm, collected. You're not tripping off of it. It's like stocking money in the bank, bro. It's like stashing money in the bank. Take her out. Go get sushi, take her home, tell her you had a good time, send her a text message, and let her reach out to you the next day and see how it go. Don't do too much, man. Don't do too much. That's what my advice is. So, what's up, my girl? Just the brown girl in America says, good morning, lovelies. Don't let other people dictate your emotional control. Stay firm on who you are. I love this girl. I love this girl. I love you, just a brown girl in America. Shout out to you. All right, y'all. Jay Hustle React says, how's the Lambo AD? Oh, Lamborghini AD, Lamborghini Daniels in the building. Temorari. Temorario Daniels in the building. I don't really post much on Instagram anymore, but I did a little drop for the people on Instagram. Showed them me in traffic. Pulled up. Lamborghini Daniels. They said, oh my God, all the baseball players in the building is jealous. When I came out this morning, they said they seen your car because they left my car parked out front. They seen your car. All the baseball players, I got some Detroit Tigers in my building. They jealous. They was mad. They was like, who is that? They got that Lambo. So this is my building. This is my city. This is my city. It's my city. I don't know. Listen. Shout out to the rappers, shout out to the ball players, shout out to everybody. But when it comes to this This city, this is my city. Y'all drafted here. You got drafted here. I've been here. I should be the richest in the building. You ever seen that scene on Trading Places? No. Family Man. Family Man with Nicolas Cage, and he woke up and he went to the building and he was like, I'm the richest in the building. That's what we should be talking about and having in the culture. We should be having rich off wars. We in the wrong spaces. You know what I'm saying? And when I say we in the wrong spaces, we so busy arguing over who could be the most ghetto, who can be the most hood, who the realest, who done been to jail the most, who got them stripes. No, we shouldn't be having that conversation. We should be having conversations on who got the best stock portfolio, who owns the most square footage inside of the building, how impactful can you be inside of your communities? I told him no, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now too. And again, I'm gonna drop the vlog today on Patreon. So if y'all not a part of the Patreon, you know me picking it up. I got it from the Google Glasses, the Ray-Ban perspective. And I know it's gonna be some people that's bothered by it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be a little bit more upset than usual. And that's okay. Because you don't always have there it is. See the soul. You don't always have the white one is a this is a what did they call? A showroom car. They can't sell this one. They can't sell the white one because that's like a demo car. So they have to keep it in there for at least 6 months before they can even think about selling it. Was it this way? There it is. There it is. It's gorgeous. See the white outline? I'm going to show you all that on the Patreon. We're going to deep dive a little bit harder. So it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. That's the interior. Oh, man, I got the blue seat belts on that joint. It's nasty. Nasty. Oh, wee. It is so nasty. It's out of control. Media, photos, limited access. It's nasty out here in these streets, bro. But it's great, man. Do you have the keys to the city yet? No, I got the keys to the Lamb, though. It's right here. Got the keys to that. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm trying to act like I've been here before, but I can't because I haven't been there before. I've driven them. I've sat with them. My homies have let me borrow theirs when I go to certain cities and stuff like that. But I haven't been here before. So you got to give me some room. You know what I'm saying? You got to give me some space to be in a space that I've never been in before. You got to give me some space to be in a place that I've never been at before. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get used to it. Let me get used to it. Give me a couple weeks, and in a month I'm gonna be sitting here saying, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. You know, I'm not fulfilled by stuff. You know, it's not that big of a deal. And I did. I got used to the Porsche. You know, I got used to a lot of different things, but for this, you know, I couldn't, I had to figure it out. I had to figure it out. There's also a 12. Yeah. I'll give y'all a little bit of a preview. The Google Glass preview, not the vlog preview. Let me see if I can get this up here for y'all. Video file, downloads. See if I can find it for y'all real quick. I'll give y'all a little bit of a preview. Is this it?
I was listening to the guys on 97.1 talk about it and how they go down there, and they were saying it was a 50-50 shot whether your car was still there. So I thought that was pretty comical. The plug's just regular 110 outlet.
I got it in my garage.
Yeah.
Yep, because we my 911 is gone. That's my 911 that I traded in. That's my Cybertruck. I usually only do white for everything, but I decided that I want to change my colors going forward. So on to bigger and better things. Hey, shout out to the ladies that give high. Hold on, let me get that real quick. Shout out to the people that hold you down. Shout out to the high fivers. Shout out to the ladies that's with you through thick and thin. See, you could have dipped out when I went broke in 2008. You could have dipped out when I went broke in 2008, but they said, you know what? Hell no. Listen, you my homie. I'm your chick. You my dude. We ride out. All of that. Psh. They want to be mad at Tom Dog. They want to say, oh my God, I heard he's losing everything. I hope I heard that it's the hoes. Nigga, we still love the hoes. When did we stop loving the hoes just because? You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it. So I'm gonna give y'all the full vlog on Patreon. Y'all get that. You for the bag chasers, the Patreon members, you get the full thing. It's gonna be like it's a longer video. It gives you everything. It shows you all of that. And we get to it. We get to it. So shout out to all of the chasers. You will get the vlog this afternoon. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to all of the people that supported me all of these years, and we got bigger and better that we working on. All right. Let's get into the show. So what do we want to talk about today? We got a lot to get into. We got the financial stuff. We got minimum wage stuff. Adrien Broner, I threw that up there just because I think I know where I want to start. I know where I want to start. I know where I want to start. Says shooting in Texas. All right, let me see if I can find it. This is y'all show today. Thursday is the chat show.
The peace of Easter morning was pierced by gunfire inside the Big T Plaza in Oak Cliff. Two groups of men with beef between them opened fire. An innocent bystander who had nothing to do with the violence was hit. Fox 4's Sean Rabb has the video in this week's Trackdown.
We're in the parking lot at the Big T Plaza. This is Detective Lauren Keybart, and you're pinch hitting for Detective Manuel Prenza today?
Correct, sir, yes.
But you know what happened inside Big T April 5th?
Yes, sir.
Tell us what happened inside.
It involved two groups of people, and there was a shooting.
Is there video of what happened inside?
Correct.
Tell me about the video, Detective.
Remember when I told y'all we need to start profiling? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. The minute that I seen this
Shooting.
Is there?
I know I'm not supposed to be there. They both got on Jordans, Jordan 11 specifically. They both got on matching jeans. One of them got on a hoodie with no shirt. The other one got on spiked hair. He got spiked hair, light-skinned spiked hair. That's an instant red flag. Light-skinned dude, young light-skinned dudes that got the spiky hair, that's an instant red flag. Young dudes that wear hoodies with no shirt under it.
Video of what happened inside?
Instant red flag. Instant. And he eating, what are you eating? Funyuns? Flaming hot Fritos? Instant red flag. I know when I'm looking at this environment, right? And I look at the background, I see the bars closed, Sound, Pioneer, Sony, all of that old stuff. I see the mannequins outside of the windows. And when the mannequins is outside of the windows, because they trying to hurry up and get your attention, it's not like the mannequins inside of the windows. I already know. This is not a place for me. The light blue Jordan 11s just dropped. That's what I'm saying. I already know that this is not a place for me. This is not a place for law-abiding citizens, people that want to take care of their children. None of that. And it's not the business's fault. It's the culture. It's the culture's fault. If you don't, you know what I see on this? Shootout.
Correct.
People that can't walk away from a confrontation.
About the video, Detective Keybart.
One group showed up to the bazaar and went outside the barbershop. The second group was inside the barbershop. They exchanged words and exchanged.
And he had a tool on him when he walked in?
The barbershop. The second group was inside the barbershop. They
that's a phone.
Exchanged words and exchanged gunfire as well. The first group runs away from the window.
Dog pulled out a tool immediately. He was already up on it.
And
the dude in the black shirt
exchanged gunfire as well. The first group runs away from the window. There's gunfire exiting the barbershop, and then the first group returns fire.
Anybody hit?
All of them look the same. Dread heads, spiky hair.
Returns fire.
They all look the same.
Anybody hit?
Yes, unfortunately.
How is that person?
They're doing well.
Were they part of the shootout?
No, they had nothing to do with it. They were an innocent bystander. They exchanged words and gunfire.
What do you see? Altimas, Chargers. I see 3 Chargers and an Altima. If I pull up to the parking lot, Dreadheads, 3 Chargers, 2 Chargers, and an Altima. All of the signs are there. All of the signs are there. The only thing we missing is a Kia. The only thing we missing is a Kia. Nissan, 2 Dodges. 2 Dodges and a Nissan. It's so bad. The culture is so toxic to where we can't even drive certain cars without us being profiled and identified because there's a narrative attached to it. It's a Sentra. It's a narrative attached to it. The police know that it's a strong possibility that if you pull over somebody in a Charger, specifically a Scat, the Hellcats is still a little bit inaccessible. But if you pull up behind somebody and they in a Scat, you have about an 80% chance of finding somebody without a license, a gun, trees, or you may get shot. Can't even have a Scat no more.
And fled the scene. One group fled in a black
Oh, there's the Kia. There's my Kia.
Dodge Charger and fled the scene. One group fled in a black Dodge Charger and the other fled in a gray Honda CRV.
Somebody's going to know the vehicles.
Correct.
What bothers you about what happened here?
It was Easter Sunday. People were out here just trying to shop and enjoy their time, and they got caught up in something they had nothing to do with.
Now, you need somebody to help solve this case.
Correct.
How do they do that? How can folks reach Detective Manuel Prensa?
So they would reach out by the provided phone number or email.
His email, his phone number,
Yes.
right? You need somebody to get at Detective Manuel Prensa, the information provided. Let me ask you, Detective, is the video good enough that if you know him, you know him?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, sir.
You think?
There's the culprits. These are the culprits. This is the identification of what the community has to deal with on a regular basis. And guess what? The person that got hit, the person that got shot is usually not the person that's involved in the situation. It's always, most of the time, an innocent bystander. And this is one of the worst because y'all not just killing yourselves. Y'all not just taking yourselves out. Cool. You want to take yourself out. You want to ruin your life. You want to mess. You want to leave a single baby mama out here as usual. You want to do it. I agree. Pattern recognition is not racism. You want to do all of these things. You want to take yourself out. You want to ruin your communities. Cool. Somebody says, look at the colors that they want. I know what it is, bro. We all know what it is. No, guys, these are upstanding citizens, great people inside of the community doing phenomenal things. It never is. It never is. It's always a segment of the population that makes the rest of these black people that are upstanding citizens in that specific community. And you don't have to have a lot of money to be an upstanding citizen. What's up to my girl Naka? You don't have to have a lot of resources. You don't have to drive a Benz in order to be an upstanding citizen. From where I'm from, people just was good people, and it didn't matter how much money you had in order for you to be a good person. Your socioeconomic status had nothing to do with whether or not you were a good or a bad person. A good person is a good person. A bad person is a bad person. A bad person with money is a bad person with money. Like, it doesn't make you any better because you got resources. And so your culture is what you perpetuate. No mask, no nothing. They just out here running around doing some of the worst stuff. It's not that these other countries are better than us. It's that the people carry themselves with dignity and some level of respect. Stop telling me not to stereotype when I see what I see on a regular basis. I got to stereotype because I want to live. I don't care about your wokeness. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care if you, man. People got to get home to their families. They got to get home to their daughters. They got to get home to their sons, their wives, their sides. You know what I'm saying? They got to get home to what they know. Ain't nobody trying to be out here crashing out with y'all. It's so stupid. It is the dumbest thing ever. We see it and then y'all got mad at the Louisiana governor when he said, yeah, man, they need to lock them all up and just put them in Angola. They just need to lock them up. Send them to Ecuador, Venezuela. Just lock them up, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy that we... And then you know what the worst part, let me tell you another part of the culture that we don't address. The 40-year-olds, the 30 and the 40-year-olds and the 50-year-olds that still talk like they 20, talking about being a real dude. The 40 and 50-year-olds are still 20. I'll address that in a second, Jay. I'll definitely throw that on the docket. Y'all too old to still push this. The OGs used to be the ones that we lived it so that you didn't have to. We got up out of it so that you didn't have to, and we raised our children in a better environment. But then you got people that are still pressing this narrative. And so whereas I stand against it and I say, hey, man, we don't need to be doing this. We need to be making sure that we loving on each other. It's all about, hey, we need to be more focused on the women. And that's the one thing. Women, y'all not playing y'all role. Y'all not playing y'all role. Y'all not doing a responsible thing. Y'all not doing a responsible thing. I'm putting this on women too. And I'm not just talking about single parent households. I'm going to approach this from a completely different perspective. Yep. You know why? Because I believe that women are the catalysts behind life in a way. Y'all are a source of life. Hear me out. Y'all are a source of life, meaning that your nurturing spirit can soothe the biggest monster. When you looked at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you know how Natasha Romanoff was able to calm the Hulk, hey, big guy, sun's going down. He's up there tearing up the world, ripping up buildings. Hey, big guy, sun's going down. You have the ability to solve for world peace with your femininity and your greatness. Or you can create the most chaos with your behavior and trying to be just like the YNs that you're getting impregnated by. Look at Kate Cooper trying to get me to keep my grades. It's going. And so I blame the women because what we doing? Whenever I would get bothered or I'd get upset, come here, baby. Come here. Hold on. You just stressed. Come here. Sit down for a second. I'm a whole nother person. You would have thought I had a Snickers. I'm a whole nother person. You would have thought I had a Snickers. And so I also think that it's a lot of built up tension because the women ain't doing what the women do. Y'all supposed to be you going to be my Natasha Romanoff or you going to be a YN? You want to be like, because I get on the guys all the time. I say the guys is extra sassy, they gossipy, and they crash outs. And the women are starting to be like men. And so what I'm trying to figure out is that everybody going to get back in their role so we can figure this thing out, or we all going, you know, here in Detroit, there are some crash outs in Detroit, obviously. Also, I've done some review videos here. But here in Detroit, the majority of us is hustlers. We like money. We like women. We like partying. We like traveling. We like stunting. We like our sports teams. That's what the majority of us are about. That's what the majority of us are about. The ladies, all of this stuff. It's a competition for who can get the best eaters. It's this bank branch over here. And I'm not gonna say the bank branch, but it's a bank branch in Detroit where it's a chick she like, wait a minute. I think she a manager or something like that. So I go in and I go and get my cashier's check because I'm about to head to the whatever. I go and get my cashier's check. And she said, "Oh, hi, Mr. Daniels. How's everything? Can we set up a meeting with the wealth manager for you? Because we want to do that." I said, "Oh, okay, cool." I said, "You don't look like you." I said, "You look like you from Miami." Because she like a Dominican looking chick or something like that. I said, "You look like you from Miami." She said, "Yes." And then she said, she named her local rapper. She said, "Yeah, that's what such and such told me the other day when he came in. And he was like, 'Hey, you look Brazilian.'" And I was thinking to myself, makes sense. Makes sense. The rappers, the ball players, the hustlers, the street dudes, the content creators, they all trying to get the women. They all trying to get the women. That's it. They playing pokey, gotta catch them all. They trying to get all the money and trying to add to their collection. They're trying to get a Charizard. They're trying to get a Pikachu. They're trying to get a Bulbasaur. Maybe not a Bulbasaur. But it's definitely trying to get a Charizard and a Pikachu. What y'all doing out? My point is, what are y'all doing out here shooting at each other and fighting? If you too busy getting money and you too busy, you know what I'm saying, being surrounded with good feminine energy, you're not even on that. You're not even on that. You're not even on no, bro. When you have good women and good feminine energy around you, you know what it's like? A Squirtle. He trying to get a Squirtle. Oh man, hold on. Let me pull up a Squirtle. Y'all wild. Y'all are wild. Oh, when you got good feminine energy around you, a Squirtle is it's a Pokemon. It's a Pokemon, but the name is so funny because of what we're talking about. My point is, we got to get back to the love, man. We got to get back to the love. We got to get back to the good energy. We got to get back to the feminine energy. He said, "You need you a Squirtle too." We got to get back to the. This is a family show. We talking about Pokemon. We got to get back to the feminine energy. We got to get back to. We got to get back to love, yo. Loving each other. Get this money. This summer, we got to stop fighting and killing each other, and we got to start getting money. We do. Slow motion, chilling, having a good time, partying, and trying to figure out where they at, though. All of this fighting and killing, honestly, man, it's weird. That gang banging junk, it's like, yo, y'all running the women away. Don't women want to be in a room with a bunch of dudes? That's because of gang bang. I'll be outside with my. Don't nobody want to deal with that. Ain't nobody about that life. Man, we old. Especially for y'all. You older dudes need to be ashamed of yourself. Older men need to be ashamed of themselves. Older gangbangers, older thugs need to be ashamed of themselves. Anybody that's older, still banging and thugging and all of that, bro. If you pass the age of 28, 27. You aged out, bro. You just like a crackhead. Older gang members are crackheads to me. You're a crackhead. You're a child. Infant mind, infantile minds. So corny. When my homies hit me up, they be like, "Hey man, yo, we got these tickets to go in here. Oh dog, are you hip to this new this event that's being had? Man, we gonna pull up to the M1 concourse. We gonna drive some cars around, bro. I got the invitation. You coming through, bro? I got an extra spot for you." That's what we on. Ain't nobody, hey man. If you call me talking about, hey man, we need to ride out on somebody. We need to do what? Block. I'll ride out with you. I'm not riding out. Ratting out? You still robbing places? You still putting your life on the line and taking penitentiary chances? Then you need to get a job. Go and get some work. You hanging outside at the corner store in the daytime? You ain't got nothing to do? You ain't got no job to go to? What you mean you just hanging out? It's Wednesday. It's 11:46 a.m. on a Wednesday. What are you doing hanging out at the store? You ain't got nothing to do? What do you mean you waking up late? Nigga, it's work time. No, I got to go to work in the morning. What do you mean you want to hang out till 3 a.m. on a Tuesday? No, I got a live stream and I got work. I got a live stream in the morning. Looking dumb. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe. I'm sick of it, bro. I'm sick of the culture. Chris Cunningham said, just emailed you. Okay, I'm going to check that in a second. You had the keys to the city yet? No, but I do in the future. I might run for mayor and I might be handing out the keys to the city. You never know. 1J Ben says, I'm going to be waiting on a Patreon vlog of you taking it out on the track. Oh, that'll do. M1 concourse, here I come. Don't let them Civics and laptops dog walk you either. Don't pick up. I don't care about these Ricer vehicles. You know what I'm saying, J Ben? Coach Chris says, in quiet times, are you ever in awe of your success? No. I will tell you that when I went to sleep last night, I got in the bed, and I went to sleep, and the only thing I can think of was, thank you, Jesus. If I'm being absolutely honest and transparent. And I say it out loud, I said, oh, God, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for everything that you've done for me, and thank you for living the life that I've lived. When I went to sleep last night, when I got off the live stream and I jumped in the shower and I got in the bed, all I could say was, thank you, Jesus. In quiet times, I have humility sessions with God. When everybody is around me, I don't subject myself to no man, and I don't bow down to no man. So my humility comes with me and God. It don't come from being in front of people. So I don't have to do fake humility in front of people. I can stand tall when I'm in front of people. And so the only thing I could say was, thank you, Jesus. I love you, God. That's all I could say, honestly. So that's what I was on. When I went to sleep last night, I said, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. And I'm going to tell you the rest of it. I said, if I don't wake up tomorrow which I expected to be here today, but just in general, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted God to know that no matter what, and good, because most of the time people only seek out God's face when they're going through something. And so I make sure that I'm in God's face when I got everything or when I'm on the top. And I said, if I don't even wake up tomorrow, I want you to know that I'm appreciative and I got more than everything that I've ever wanted in my entire life. And so and then I went to sleep comfortably, and I got a good sleep score last night too. Look. For the first time in a long time, I got a phenomenal sleep score last night. See if I can pull it up for you before we move over to the next part of the show. Oh, look at this joint. Look at this joint. Said once you were asleep, I got an 82 last night, boy. It said once you were asleep, you stayed asleep, and that helped you score an 82. I got the alert on my Apple Watch last night. It said, good job, Anton. Got that good sleep score, woke up, got that gym out the way. I said, man, I'm feeling good, bro. High Tolerance says, good morning, AD and the Bag Chasers. Lambo looking right, big dog. Have you tapped into Corey Minor's health situation? His grandson is doing better. Corey is fighting the fight. Prayers up for a smooth recovery in Jesus' name. I haven't seen anything about Corey Minor's health situation. Honestly, I've been so focused on myself. I haven't been focused. All I've been focused on is myself and the Bag Chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. AD, can you tell your community that we focus on us because we are the ones that have to hold ourselves accountable? It's not targeting or stereotype. You tell them. You in the chat just like us. My community know what's up. Anton, you see the new casino that opened up in Queens, New York. Well, let's go figure it out. Casino Queens.
New resorts. Hold
on. Let's see what they talking about in Queens.
It is opening day for the new resorts World Casino beside Aqueduct Racetrack in South Ozone Park. With thousands of new games, the $5 billion project aims to make Southeast Queens a global entertainment destination. Elle McLogan joins us with more.
It's a packed scene here at the newly transformed Resorts World Casino. Lawmakers and executives are here cutting the ribbon to reveal live table games for the first time in New York City history. It's a historic.
I see Nas over there. I see Esco right there doing big things.
Expansion for Resorts World New York City.
I love to see it when rappers graduate and move into their maturity age, but they still aging gracefully. Shout out to Nas.
In Queens,
one of my favorites.
along a video lottery casino, the venue is now moving toward full-scale commercial gaming, converting its third floor to install more than 200 live table games, including blackjack, craps, baccarat, and roulette, on top of the thousands of slot machines already in operation.
The first time commercial table games and slot machines will be offered in the Big Apple's 400+ years.
It's one of 3 licenses awarded downstate late last year, while community feedback was often split at heated public hearings. Bally's in the Bronx and Hard Rock's Metropolitan Park near Citi Field also moved forward.
Hold on, let me see.
Hearings. Bally's in the Bronx and Hard Rock's Metropolitan Park near Citi Field also moved forward, expected to open in 2030. Resorts World is touting more than 1,000 new workers, many trained as dealers for the new games, with plans to grow that workforce in coming months.
Let's talk about the economic shot in the arm that's going to be given to South Ozone Park that they have not seen is well deserved.
Showgirls brought the flavor of Vegas, and hip-hop legend and Queens native Nas, a partner on the project, kicked things off with a commemorative first roll of the dice.
He threw a 7 too.
Resorts World says even more is on the way, an entertainment venue, spa, and pool. But for now, gamblers can bring their lucky charms and head up to the 3rd floor.
All right, I got some thoughts on this. Let me give you all my thoughts on this whole casino opening in New York.
All right, gamblers hitting the jackpot in Queens. The first table games casino is now officially open, and owners are calling it a win-win for players and the community, with hundreds of jobs created. Anton Lewis is going to be here with a look inside, but as we can tell, a whole lot of people, this is a controversial thing, as people were for this, against this, but as you can see, doors are open and people are excited to get inside. Anton Lewis is here with a look about how this all came to be and what it's like when you step through the doors. Antoine.
Yeah, I was having mic issues, Bianca and Natasha, but this is the first full-fledged casino here in New York City, and the dice were rolling early. So called Resorts World Casino, New York City, it has more than 240 table games featuring everything from blackjack, craps, baccarat, and roulette, as well as more than 2,500 slot machines, food and drink options galore. It has everything. The casino is adjacent to the Aqueduct racetrack. Its opening has also created 1,200 new jobs, and casino owners say their goal is to have nearly 3,000 employees by the summer.
We do not build and walk away. We invest and we stay. Nowhere is that more true than here in Queens at Resorts World, New York City.
This is part of a $5.5 billion project that will eventually include a 7,000-seat entertainment venue, more than 12 acres of new public green space, and a full-day spa. So Bianca and Natasha, there you have it. You can.
All right, so let me tell y'all what my thoughts are about this whole situation, about these casinos that are opening up in New York, right? And now I got to be honest with y'all. I have to be absolutely transparent. What they're not going to tell you is that the majority of people that are going to suffer and lose are going to be native New Yorkers. They do not build casinos because they want to make y'all winners. They build casinos to cannibalize the locals and then ultimately send the profits back to Vegas. After we get done with all of the hoopla, and after we get done with all of the celebration, the part that you're not going to see is the addiction, the losing of homes, people going to jail. People, listen, gambling addiction is going to be rampant. Notice this. Check this out. So they opened up two in Queens and one in the Bronx. Notice how, first of all, it's in some of the most impoverished areas in some of the worst boroughs. People are not going to fly to New York to go to the casinos. They're flying to Vegas to go to the casinos. They go to Vegas as an entertainment destination. 95% of every dollar that is taken from that environment is going to be from people that don't have it to lose. Let me tell you what's going to happen. They're going to bus in seniors. At the first of the month, they're going to send out flyers and they're going to send out incentives. Hey, deposit this amount, this and that, and you guys will have all of this on us, right? They're going to bus in seniors. They're going to be bringing them in all from over New York, right? They're going to create incentives right there. They're going to give them a card and say, hey, the more you gamble, the more you get. Vegas is not dying. Don't believe that at all. The more you gamble, the better off it'll be. People are going to be losing their Social Security checks. They're going to be losing their pensions. They're going to be losing their families. They're going to be in debt. They're going to be mortgaging their business. They're going to lose people that never, ever thought about gambling. And I'm talking about now you're going to create a whole new society of dependence on this addiction. Soon as they turn 21, they're going to go for their birthday. They're going to win that night, and it's going to hook them for the rest of their life. because most people are not going to do it because, oh, it's just casual. I'm never going to gamble more than I can afford to lose. I'm just having a good time. All of that stuff. Most people are not going to do that. They're going to not have no windows. They're going to turn the air conditioning up. They're going to remove all of the clocks so that you don't know what time it is and how long you've been there. They're going to reward you for how long you gamble. I gave a compliment. I said, shout out to Nas. I love to see when people maturing and aging gracefully. Now I got to give you the other side of it, because there's going to be a lot of people that's sleeping at that slot machine. I'm telling you. You know what's so funny to me? I seen Congress members, including AOC, lobby against an Amazon coming to the area because they said that they didn't want Amazon to open up. And Amazon was pitching it as, yo, we creating a warehouse. We want to have jobs. We want to, create this environment over in the Bronx. And AOC and all of the Congress and politicians said, nope, we don't want your business. But then they say, yep, to casinos. You know what that means? That means that they're not in your best interest. They're not in your best. They fought regular businesses and jobs from coming. Do you know that the casinos here in Detroit individually are more profitable, are some of the most profitable casinos in the country? Nah, I'm not going. That's from 10 days ago. I don't know who made that. Let me show you something, bro. This is insane. This was just from March 2026. Detroit's just three casinos locally. They did revenue of roughly $100 million in February alone. $100 million in revenue in February. Where do you think that money comes from? $100 in 1 month. 1 month. Where do you think that money come from? And we got Windsor across the street. And they got the Indian casinos all the way up in upper Michigan and stuff like that. 1 month. Revenue is up. So think about this. Everybody is sitting there talking about we ain't got no jobs, there's layoffs, the economic whatever. Why do you think that is so much revenue that's generated inside of these places? You work all week and you give it away in 7 minutes. Traditionally, February is traditionally a slower month for casino revenue due to the shorter duration. Everybody know in content creation and business, you know that February is going to be your weakest month in any industry because it's only 28 days in February. But the total surpassed 100 million, and outcome that was 98 million posted the same month in 2025. Crazy. Insane. Highest sports betting revenues ever. MGM brought in 134,000. Motor City brought, and this is just profit. Crazy. These casinos here make $200 million in 2 months. The shortest 2 months. January, the coldest month. February, the shortest month. And they made $200 million. It's insane, bro. It's insane. And this is lower than the pandemic. It's sad. And so New York don't even know what they're getting themselves into yet. Oh, but y'all gonna find out. And they're never going to promote. Remember that. They're never going to promote the losers. They're not going to promote the degeneracy. Go around the block in Vegas. So you got the Strip, and then you got downtown Las Vegas. Go around the block. Go around the part where the Ubers take you so that they can bypass all of the traffic on the Strip. It's bad. It's bad. It is super, super bad. Anton, would you ever open up a casino? First of all, I don't have a revenue to be able to open up a casino. It takes billions of dollars to be able to do that. And secondly, no, I don't promote it. Bro, I got gambling companies reaching out to me every single week, every single month. Oh my God, promote it. You know what I'm saying? We'll give you a bag. We'll give you this. We'll sponsor your channel. We'll sponsor you that. I've turned them down at every which way. I like going to the casino because I like the action. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I'm not losing anything. Everything that I'm doing is continuing to grow and is I'm making the investments and I'm not losing businesses and all of that other stuff and can't afford to pay my bills and I don't have an addiction problem and you just gotta go. You just gotta see it. But I see people like that. So I would never promote that to people because I know that people have addictive personalities. It's not that it's not okay or cool for you to go to the casino and go to shows or whatever, or go to Vegas, whatever. Vegas is one of my favorite places. The problem is that I know that everybody don't have the capacity to be able to do so. People don't have the tolerance to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to just go and have fun and I'm not going to take more than I can afford to lose. People have an addictive personality, so I wouldn't feel right. Everything in moderation is cool. I wouldn't feel right promoting something that I could possibly turn somebody into an addiction just for my own benefit. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? So I'm nah, bro. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't accept a sponsorship from something that I don't believe in. I can't push to my people something that I don't believe in. I can't. I just can't, bro. Make sure y'all hit a like. So shout out to New York, but I think that it's going to be another side to that. Shout out to New York. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Good question. Anton, shalom, sir. You ruined Pokemon for me. Now Jigglypuff makes sense. Gally, no. I've had a lot of squirrels in my life. Got to catch them all. Shout out to Whiskey Pierre. UPT Naldo says, your content opened my eyes in so many ways. My guy, keep doing God's work. Shout out to y'all. Hey, I want to give myself a shout out too, because I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but I've cleaned up my speech on the Millionaire Morning Show. Anton don't curse. Anton don't say nothing crazy. Anton make sure that the churches can watch. Anton make sure that the truck drivers is having a good time. Anton make sure that the religious people is cool. Anton, you could put this up in your school's wherever, the teacher's lounge. Hold on. I mean, I've been on it for a while now. So I'm going to give myself some props for me making this more of a family-friendly show. We still gonna get into the thick of things as far as the subjects, but as far as the actual language, Anton is on. And guess what? It's still a good show, which means that if I can make the effort to do it, then you can make the effort to do it in real life. Only Just Commentary says, yeah, they chose Nas over Jay to headline and obtain investment opportunities in the Queens-based casino, although I'm sure Jay is still invested, just not a face. Swift and Wesson says, I had to buy a new AC unit. I live in Florida. It's a need. Shout out to Swift and Wesson. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turn on your notifications. Let's get into some money, y'all. Before we go back, I want to get into the Supreme Court ruling. I want to get into Spirit. I want to get into Chicago minimum wage. We did the Oak Cliff shooting. We did the casino in New York. Knock that off the list. Let's get into some money, y'all.
Casualty of the rising cost of the jet fuel Spirit Airlines could be on the verge of collapse. The airline is in bankruptcy, but rescue negotiations, well, they've stalled. Chris Van Cleve has new reporting on this. Chris, what are you hearing?
Well, good morning. Without further intervention, sources tell us Spirit's available cash on hand is now measured in days, not weeks. And if that money runs out, the airline would likely have to cease operations. For now, Spirit is running normally as negotiations continue around a $500 million government bailout. Now, 2 of the 3 groups of creditors at Spirit are on board with the government's aid package, but the airline's major bondholders are not currently in agreement. One floated a counteroffer that was rejected. Now, hanging in the balance are about 7,500 Spirit employees. If Spirit were to cease operations, people with upcoming reservations would need new flights, but they would get refunds. People that would be mid-trip, well, they would have to find a new way home because the airline wouldn't be operating. If you have Spirit frequent flyer miles, consider using them now. If the airline shuts down, those would be worthless, and airfares would likely go up. Spirit says on routes they exit, fares go up about 23%. That works out to $60 on a round trip. Major.
Listen, go ahead and raise the prices to $60 on round trip. I think that we should go ahead and let Spirit go ahead and go to the upper room. And I'm not saying that because I think that Spirit is a bad airline or anything like that. I'm saying it because in this instance, the airline industry, I don't see a way for Spirit to make money long term. I don't see a way for Spirit to be able to make money long term. And so if that be the case, then I don't understand what the purpose is of throwing money at a losing venture or a losing opportunity. If this is the way I see it, if I wouldn't invest in it, right? Meaning that I would never tell my bag chasers to invest in an airline, let alone a failing airline like Spirit. Frontier is next, right? We already got a low-cost airline in Southwest. Southwest isn't a low-cost airline. Somebody told me that JetBlue was a low-cost airline, right? We got low-cost airlines, and they got upstart low-cost airlines. So Allegiant, Allegiant is a lower-cost airline. A lot of the casinos use Allegiant in order to fly people across the country a lot of times. Southwest is the king of layovers, though. Well, that's what happens when you're using a lower cost airline. You're going to have to deal with the circumstances. And so we got a bunch of other low cost airlines. If anything, I would say that let other airlines benefit that's also struggling, benefit from the higher, more customers, because they no longer have the option to go with Spirit. The fact that Spirit couldn't compete and they went out of business, right? Because Spirit has been in existence for decades. If they couldn't compete, you can't blame it on the fuel prices if you were already in bankruptcy. This is your second time being in bankruptcy. You can't say, well, the fuel prices pushed us all the way over the edge. No, this was decades in the making. You didn't know how to run the business successfully. The CEO shouldn't get rewarded as a result of it. They shouldn't be able to still pay him millions. There has to be a lot of concessions before taxpayers should be able to step in and say whatever. So for me, the idea is that if I wouldn't invest in it myself, and if I wouldn't tell my bag chasers to invest in it, and I tell y'all to stay away from airlines, hotels, anything travel related, because as soon as people go through something, the first thing that they're going to cut out is whatever this leisure activity or whatever the travel industry got going on. Then I wouldn't suggest that the federal government use our tax dollars to invest in it either. And so if we give them $500 million, if you can't afford an additional $30 one way, then listen, you need to go ahead and put that trip away. Let's go ahead and get back to work and let's go hustle. For most people, that's what, an hour's worth of work. If you can't afford an additional $30, then you don't need to be flying, or you need to take a road trip. But I don't think that we should be throwing money at this. I do think that they are going to bail Spirit out. I do think that they are going to give them a lifeline, unfortunately. And they're going to pitch it from the government's perspective as, well, we're saving 7,500 jobs, and then an additional whatever jobs benefit from Spirit still being in the air. That's how they're going to pitch it.
So time is running out to reach a deal to save Spirit Airlines from collapse. We're hearing talks for a government-backed bailout plan have apparently stalled, and that's according to multiple sources. We're joined now by CBS News senior transportation correspondent.
I like the colors of Spirit. I think it should be black with yellow wording instead of yellow wording with black. You create an airline and you market it with the black, with the yellow on it, I think that'll hit. I don't know how that would turn out. Like, I don't know if you can have a black plane. I don't know what the aviation standards are, or if that's a security risk or something like that, but that would be dope.
Chris Van Cleve, who's been investigating all of this. Chris, why might time be running out on this surprise deal that the White House offered?
Well, good morning, Errol. Sources tell us that Spirit's available cash on hand and the money they use to operate is now measured in days, not weeks. And if that money were to run out, the airline likely would have to cease operations. Now, that's playing out as these negotiations around...
Somebody said Ross plane is black. Yeah, but that's a private plane. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about a commercial airline that has hundreds of planes in the air at any given time, I don't know if that's the same. And I'm just speculating because I don't know what the standards are in the airline industry. You know what's so funny that we having this conversation? When I was talking to my daughter this morning, I told her, I said, hey, have you ever thought about being a pilot? And she was like, I never thought of that before. I said, yeah, you should look into it. And to be honest with you, I also have to give Kimmy some credit on this. Because I was talking to Kimmy and we was talking about what her plans was, because I like to tap in with different people that I work with and stuff. And so I was talking to Kimmy and we was going over what her plans was long-term and, her career and all of this stuff. And she was like, yo, Anton, I really want to get my pilot's license. And so we was talking back and forth. And I was like, yo, that conversation with Kimmy actually hit a little different. Cause I was like, because, my daughter is in the process of choosing what college she want to go to. And so it kind of hit me this morning. And I was like, yo, what about being an airline pilot? I wonder if you would want to be interested in that. But anyways, neither here nor there. It's just a research subject.
Proposed government aid package of around $500 million have stalled, we understand. 2 of Spirit's 3 main groups of creditors are on board. The bondholders have not signed on. In fact, one of them floated a counteroffer that was rejected, and hanging in the balance now are about 7,500 Spirit employees and another 10,000 or so who are indirectly employed by the airline. So, we are coming down to really potentially the final hours here for someone to make a move to either intervene and prop up Spirit, or they may be
Deadline is May
close
1st.
to having to park their planes.
And what happens, Chris, if that is the case? I mean, you've got a lot of Spirit customers who currently have tickets. We're heading into the month of May, or they may be about to purchase a ticket for summer travel. What should those customers and potential customers do?
Well, have a backup plan to start. As we speak today, Spirit is running normally. Their flights are taking off as scheduled this morning. The question is, how long does that continue? If you have a reservation on Spirit and the airline ceases to operate, you'll get
choosing out of the ones that she's already been accepted to. She's been accepted to everyone she applied to.
Money back because you bought it with your credit card. Your credit card will refund you. If you're in the middle of a trip and the airline stops operating, well, you're going to be stuck. Other airlines have plans to offer rescue fares, but you'll essentially have to buy a new ticket to get home, and that may cost more than what's left on that ticket you had with Spirit. And the other group of people, of course, if you have Spirit frequent flyer points, I would encourage you to use those now, because if the airline were to shut down, those will likely become worthless. And then sort of bigger picture, likely airfares go up in general in markets where Spirit was strong. Spirit points to its own internal numbers that show fares go up by about 23% when Spirit exits a route. That, according to Spirit, is about $60 a round trip. So there will be ramifications if Spirit has to stop operating. For flyers with upcoming reservations, though, your credit card company will refund you.
Yeah, I think that they should go ahead and let that go. Go ahead and let them go out of business, big dog. And I hate to say that because I don't say that lightly. I am saying that because I'm considering everything. I think that it's a failing business. And I'm not comfortable as a taxpayer throwing additional monies at this, thinking that somehow, some way, it's going to generate more revenue or they're going to save themselves. They've been on this pathway to destruction for a long time. I don't want to continue to pay a CEO. I think that CEOs should be rewarded according to the success of the company. I think that CEOs should be rewarded according to the success of the company. We can't reward failure. What do you mean negotiating a bailout? There should be no bailout for Spirit Airlines, bro. It's not an industry. It's not industry-wide. It's that specific airline. When we negotiated a bailout for the banks, to where that's still controversial in itself, that was industry-wide. That was the collapsing of the American dollar. That was a cannibalization of homes and markets and credit and all of this other stuff. That was industry-wide. And again, that's still controversial in itself. I'm not bailing out an airline. What kind of nonsense is that? Nah, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't think that should be a thing. I think we should go ahead and let the industry collapse. But again, that's my limited financial guidance as far as how it ties to the federal government. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to Deshaun, says, you're an awesome dude, Mr. Daniels, or an example of Black God-fearing success I look up to, and you're looking great, more in shape, big Spartan. Wish to keep learning from you, and I joined in the Patreon. Hey, join it tomorrow. For the new, unless you're paying for the year, join tomorrow. Don't join today. The best time to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. Join tomorrow. So shout out to Darshan. Thank you, my friend. That's a phenomenal compliment. Mr. Joe says, if Spirit doesn't change their business model, the $500 billion bailout is just, no, million. Not billion, million. It's just delaying the inevitable collapse of the company. I don't want y'all to say billion. Boy, don't say, if y'all getting 500 billion, that's more than the entire value of the company itself, including all of the planes that they would have to sell off. Nah, we not giving them no 500 Bs. Not the Bs. I want to go over to Chicago really quickly. Give me a second. Let me pull this up.
Good evening and welcome to Chicago Report. I'm Tia Ewing. We are starting off tonight with news from Washington, D.C. involving one of Illinois' U.S. Congress members. Representative Delia Ramirez is introducing the Living Wage for All Act, which would raise the federal minimum wage to $25 an hour. It is a proposal that congressional candidate and Illinois Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton also pushed for. This was during her campaign. And here's how it would actually work. The bill would also phase in different pay timelines for large and smaller employers. So it would start with companies with 500 or more employees, which would have to comply by the year 2031. Smaller companies would have an extra 7 years to reach that goal.
I understand people will say, well, $25 an hour, and how will small businesses be able to pay for that? Look, folks, within the bill, we have a phase-out period to ensure that our small businesses are able to get to the $25 an hour. And we also have built in a cost of living to ensure that we won't have to have this fight again, right? Right. Because wages will go up as cost of living also goes up.
Delia Ramirez is joining us on Zoom to tell us more about the legislation and how it sets different timelines for large corporations versus smaller employers. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thanks for having me, Tia. Happy to be on.
Let's talk about this because it is important, and a lot of people's ears go up when they hear $25 an hour and how that can even be possible. Why phase it in the way that you've kind of laid this out, and how do you respond to concerns from small business owners about what that $25 an hour could do in terms of impact?
Yeah. Well, look, let me first start by saying that we have not raised the federal minimum wage in this country since 2009. The federal minimum wage at this moment is $7.25. That means that when we look at that federal minimum wage, if people are getting paid at that level, they're having to work 2 jobs to be able to pay for the rent and cover basic costs. 25, why did we get there? We've looked at many, many studies across the country in various sectors, and what we have found is that the minimum, the floor that people need to be making in order to be able to cover the cost in the cheapest county in this country is $25 per hour. Now, the phase out was really important to me because I've heard from small businesses. I was in the state legislature in 2019 when we passed to raise the minimum wage in Illinois to $15 per hour. And we understood that small businesses needed that extra help and transition period to be able to get there. It's why we built into this bill a phase out period in which small businesses would not have to phase out into $25 an hour until 2038, giving them enough time and capacity to build the infrastructure necessary to be able to cover those costs, while larger employers would get there by 2031.
I want to talk to you about this portion of it because your proposal would eliminate all sub-minimum wages, including for tipped workers and workers with disabilities. What problem are you trying to solve with that change, and how would it affect industries like restaurants and even hospitality?
Look, it's really important for us to note. I know that oftentimes you'll hear some folks try to argue that businesses are going to shut down as a result of their workers getting paid living wages. Well, the reality is that when workers are paid living wages, they stick around. They have higher retention.
The problem with this argument, okay, with this whole $25 minimum wage or whatever, is when we say, okay, minimum wage was established so that there would be a bare minimum, so that basically you saying that workers are not just absolutely being exploited, that high schoolers wouldn't be being exploited, that immigrants wouldn't be exploited, that people that were getting into industries or getting a job, that you couldn't take advantage of those that didn't know any better. It was not established so that you can have a minimum living standard. Minimum wage was never supposed to be minimum living standard, meaning that if you got a job working at a fast food place, it wasn't meant for you to live off of getting a job working at a fast food place. It was supposed to be a baseline so you're not taken advantage of completely by the business owner. Now we're putting the onus on the business to make sure that we make other people's lives better. That's the difference, right? So when you say minimum wage, I don't equate minimum wage to living standards. Living standards are subjective, depending on where you live in a lifestyle that you decide that you want to embrace. So while I agree that the minimum wage should be raised, how much it should be raised and the reason that it's being raised is two completely different things. The arguments that politicians are making does not justify the amount that they are saying that you should be making as a cashier at Walmart or McDonald's. The number should be debated. The reason should be justified, but it does not measure up with what it is that we established minimum wage to be in the first place. What I would love for these politicians to do is to open up a business and prove to us that it can be done. I want them to be the guinea pig. Before I ever come to y'all, the reason why my Patreon is so awesome and successful, aside from the fact that we have a strong community amongst each other and we love each other and we want to link up with each other, the reason why the Patreon is so successful is because I show the receipts. So you have a much greater chance of taking the information that I give you and duplicating it to be successful. Also, because I've already proven to you that either it A, can be done, or I've shown you how I overcame trying to do it, and then I had to readjust so that it is actually successful for people. But what I see from most politicians is that they've never built anything. They've never owned any businesses. They've never invested in people. They don't have any employees. Most politicians that you see that's determining our laws are lifetime career politicians, meaning that their entire life they've been paid for by the people. Example, Zoran Mamdani. The reason why he can't understand or compute, because I've seen the people holding him accountable at the town hall about supporting taxes and raising it on the billionaires, and why he's about to lose a $6 billion investment inside of New York is because he's never actually implemented it. So while he is likable, while he can answer questions, while he does the really good politician thing, and while he is able to get the support from the majority of the people that don't own businesses, it doesn't mean that you understand how you as a socialist, the agenda that you're pushing has to be supported by a capitalistic agenda. The people that generate the most money, the people that are the job creators, the hustlers, the ones that stay up all night, the ones that's made the sacrifice to ultimately get where they are the ones that are subsidizing your plan. And so I would love to see how y'all are able to justify, because what I know, for example, in the restaurant industry is that the margins are razor thin. Why do you think that most restaurants go out of business within the first year? More than half of them don't survive past year 2 or 3. It's right. And when I say razor thin. So it's going to be a trickle up effect, meaning that in order for them to be able to pay this person $25 an hour, two things got to happen. We got to get rid of most employees, and then that's when you're going to start to implement AI. And then people are going to say, oh my God, I can't believe it. They're killing jobs. Well, now we got to have kiosks taking your order, and we got to have robots pouring your coffee, and we have to have artificial intelligence at the drive-thru saying, hi, may I take your order? Please repeat. Please repeat. Please repeat. Please repeat. Because we can't afford to bring in more people to justify exactly what you're saying that we have to pay them. So that's one. And then number two, at the same time, the costs go up. So now you haven't actually made a livable wage because it's going to cost you more to live. It's going to cost you more to have a place. It's going to cost you more to have gas. It's going to cost you more because the gas station attendant got to make $25 an hour minimum, right? The person that's at the front desk of your building got to make $25 an hour minimum. The maintenance guy got to make way more than that because he got to justify being a maintenance guy instead of being the front desk guy. The person that's flipping the burgers, they got to make at least minimum $25 an hour minimum. So guess what? Sorry about that. I'm reconnected. So now everybody has to pay more because your costs are going to continue to go up to do the very. You want to know why people keep talking about, oh my God, I can't believe that the rent is up. I can't believe that this is up. I can't believe that it costs me more to go to the grocery store, because the costs are going to continue to go up to do anything. To do anything. I got the sod people putting in grass because now that the weather has broken, they're able to do the fencing and they're able to do the grass for one of the last properties that I built, right? Already had the people move in as soon as the weather broke. Now they ordered the fencing, they're doing the grass, they're doing the sprinklers, they're doing on the side, right? And Rita called me and she said, Anton, this is how much it's going to cost them to do the side, to do the grass. And I said, that don't make sense. Why is it more? Thousands more. It was thousands more. Why is it more than it cost when we did this previous property, but we using the same company? Somebody got to eat the costs. And so guess what happens? It gets spread out amongst everybody. So now everybody got to pay more. Everybody got to spend more money. Everybody got to spend more money. And everybody got to pay more taxes. And so inflation goes up, the cost of living goes up. But you think that, I remember when people was like, yo, remember when they used to protest for $15 an hour? Now it's $25 an hour. Now it's $30 an hour. Now it's going to be $40 an hour. Now it's going to be $50 an hour. It's not the number. It's the lifestyle. It's the cost of living. It's the cost of living. But guess what didn't go up? Guess what prices are still the exact same? Can anybody in the chat tell me what, of all the things in society, in the world, in the culture, what price has been the exact same since it started? I said the price of box. No, I wasn't talking about the price of box. Costco hot dogs, food, clothes, Arizona iced tea, McDonald's, nope. Wages, nope. Arizona tea, box, definitely not box. The cost to pay attention, toothpick, Snapple, money. Oh my God, come on. Yeah. Woo! Shout out to my dog, Facey. Facey, you hit the nail on the head. Since we started the Bag Chasers, we've never raised the prices. We've never raised the price of the brick. $1 million game. $1 million game, we kept the bag the same. You know what I'm saying? Don't join today, join tomorrow, because the best thing to join the Patreon is the beginning of the month. Don't join today, join tomorrow. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. The best day to join is the beginning of the month. Link is in the chat. That's right. Pin to the top of the chat. We have not raised the price of the Patreon, not a dollar. Not a dollar. Talk about you was thinking about food. I'm the only person that don't charge inflation. You know what I'm saying? Time Dog out here making sure that the people eat.
As a matter of fact, look, there's a number of states that have already moved into a higher minimum wage. You're talking about New York, LA, Maryland, the Bay Area, states that already moved on. And what we have found in states like this, especially, I'll give you a quick example, DC, after voters passed Initiative 82, the city saw that restaurants were able to actually increase profits and employment record instead of decreasing it. So this idea that businesses are going to shut down as a result of wages being higher is not accurate. It's actually the opposite. We're seeing an increase because there's a higher retention, higher quality, and the employer is finding that, in fact, there's actually an increase in profit as a result of increased wages.
We just talking. You want to know what y'all about to experience? Y'all about to be able to finance your food. You're going to have to finance your food. They're going, mark my words. Mark my words. Listen to what I'm saying. You're going to have to finance your food. You're going to be able to go into a restaurant or go on their app, and you're going to be able to do Klarna, Afterpay on your food. It's already happening? No way. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Let me try. I'm about to go on DoorDash right now. No way, Sabrina. You got to be kidding me. What? I'm gonna just pick a restaurant. I'm on DoorDash right now. I'm gonna throw in some food. Continue. Let's throw a tip on there, $15. Okay, so I see payments. So I see payments. All right. I see Apple Pay. Oh, y'all was right. You can literally select Klarna. What? Oh, dog. Y'all financing, y'all Klarna and food? What in the Jesus is going? That's crazy. Come on, dog. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on. This is crazy. This is insane. This is crazy. Absolutely insane. It's out of control. It's insane. Wow. Make sure you guys don't finance y'all. Don't finance y'all DoorDash. If you got to finance DoorDash, then don't order DoorDash. Just go to the grocery store. Real talk. I didn't know. Just go to the grocery store. If you have to finance your DoorDash, get your big self up and go to the grocery store. Don't tell me you like it because I want to get rid of it. Y'all keep trying to get me to keep my salt and pepper beard. Because listen, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Oh, snaps. My daughter chose her college. So Jay Reed says Anton's realizing he's out of touch with the rest of us. I'm not. You can't tell me wait. You can't tell me that I'm out of touch because I don't believe in financing DoorDash. Somebody that finances DoorDash is out of touch with the rest of us. If you're financing DoorDash, you're out of touch. Because you should not be DoorDashing if you're financing it. No. Nope. Yeah, nope. Wrong analogy. I'm in touch because I believe that if you have to finance DoorDash, then you should probably go to the store. Bananas don't cost nothing. Eggs don't cost nothing. Bread don't cost nothing. Milk don't cost nothing, bro. You're not going to lie to me and act like, oh my God, it's costing me $100 to get bread, milk, and eggs. It doesn't. You're lying. Eggs are still cheap. Milk is still cheap. Bread is still cheap. Ramen noodles is still cheap. Sardines is still cheap. I know. Listen, I know that holdover meal. Man, listen, I can make as much breakfast food as I want for multiple. I can get a dozen eggs and I can go get some bread. And there's multiple different ways I can finesse that bread. I can use the eggs to make French toast. I can use the eggs, whip up some eggs, and I'm good. I can use the eggs to just do regular toast. Pop it inside of the toaster. And I don't even need a toaster. I got an oven. You can't trick me into believing that y'all want to, because see, y'all just want to live these phenomenal lifestyles and y'all got these high standards. But y'all can't finesse me into thinking, oh man, you just saw it. No, you're financing DoorDash. You shouldn't be financing DoorDash. What's wrong with you? That's stupid. I'm not out of touch. Yeah, you can get a whole case of eggs from Sam's Club. Eat all month and then throw a banana in there. Bananas is cheap. Go get you an apple, switch it up. Apple today, banana tomorrow. And if I want to really get sassy, I'm going to throw some kiwi in there. Spinach is cheap. Broccoli is cheap. You can get a whole head of broccoli right there at the store. Why y'all acting like it's so crazy? Oh my God, I have a family of 2. I got to feed my 2 kids and it's going to cost me $700 at the store. Where? What your kids eating? Steak? How is it costing you $700 to feed your children? My dad used to go to Aldi and have a meal for the whole crew for nothing. He used to go to Aldi, literally. He used to send us to the store with the list. Hey, get this, and this. We go to Aldi, had a whole crew lit up, and we had leftovers. What you talking about? What's wrong with y'all? Why is it so difficult for y'all? I seen that. They talking about they can't buy junk food with food stamps. What you talking about? You can't buy junk food with food stamps. Why you buying junk food with food stamps? Yep, right there on 8 Mile and like Roselawn. It's like Roselawn or North Line, right there off of 8 Mile, but it's on the other side, so it's not North Line, Roselawn. But it's right there aligned with it. It's before you hit Cherry Lawn. It's like Roselawn, because I stayed on Green Lawn, Roselawn, North Lawn, and then it's Cherry Lawn right after that. We walked up to Aldi's, got whatever it is that we needed, took our own bags because we didn't want to pay for bags, brought that junk home, and we was eating good. Anton out of touch and all. Y'all just got this expensive lifestyle, and y'all bougie. You can't be broke and bougie. You can't be both. You can't be broke and bougie at the same time, bro. That's not how life works. You got to pick a struggle, big dog. Yep, it's right near the Kroger Plaza. You know where it is, Goddess. You know where it is, right there where the Jets Pizza is. Used to be a bank. Used to be a bank up there. Used to be a video store up there. The whole 9 yards. The hair place, the Chinese food place, Kroger's, Capital Coney Island, Capital One Coney Island. I still stop there occasionally. It's the corner store across the street. Right across 8 Mile is the gas station. But then right before that, it's the Aldi's. Oh, yeah, I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what's happening right there. Today, it's all of that stuff right there today. Y'all out of touch, bro. They out of touch, Goddess. They out of touch. Matter of fact, let me see something. Go to, I always got to go back to the hood and see what's happening. Let me see how long this walk was. Leave the crib, walk up the street. That's 1 block right there. That's Norfolk. And then at the end of this block is 8 Mile. All right. Aldi is literally right there. It's right there. It's still there since I was a young kid. It's still there. Aldi been there 2 blocks up the street, right across the street, right there by Roselawn. That's where we walked, got the groceries, walked back to the crib, cooked it up, and hooped right after that. And hooped right after that. What y'all doing? What y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Why are y'all having such a difficult time getting to the bag? You still there, boss? And guess what? Right up the street, let me show you. Let's say you go on 8 Mile. You got the Aldi right there. Oh, let me get on this side. So this is the Aldi. You walked up to the Aldi. You got your food. And if you was really sassy, it's a church right there. It's an AutoZone right there. And this the plaza. Yep, that's the plaza right there. The beauty supply store right here. This used to be the video store. The beauty supply was the video store. That's the laundromat. Of course, you're always going to have the Metro PCS. Got the Jets Pizza right here. Got the Jets. And then here's the Kroger right there. That's Kroger. And then you got to hit you a Coney Island, baby. That's Capital Coney Island. Let me get a bacon cheeseburger deluxe. Lettuce, tomatoes, onions, pickles, burger well done. Chili cheese on the fries. And I want the squeeze. I need the squeeze ketchup. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you put the chili on top of the cheese. Let me get the squeeze ketchup because I don't want the packets. So give me the squeeze. Okay, baby. Give me the squeeze ketchup. Thank you, babe. Get out of there. I ain't out of touch, nigga. It's just there like 2 weeks ago. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. That's my hood. Car King says, congrats on the Lambo. AD, I'm the only person with the Lambo pulling up to the Coney like, what up, though? Congrats on the Lambo, AD. Hey, if you're thinking about driving in England, it's crazy. Try driving in a non-English country. Rented a car in Germany, had no idea what was going on. Talk about stress and everything. I'm not driving in another country in England. I'm not doing it, bro. Rob, what up, Rob? I get nervous every time you say you're going to Chicago. Like, dang, what we doing now? Now, you know what it is, Rob? I got to go there for a political event. I got to go to the shop, but I'm moving like the president. I don't move like regular people. I move like the president. You know what I'm saying? Same clowns who get in college debt for a useless degree. Facts. Shout out to Prometheus. Michael Armstrong says lazy weirdos who refuse to work for a living want socialism so that those who have worked hard can be brought down to their misery, have nothing to own for themselves. That's a fact. Can't stop catering barbecue because of meat prices, says Prometheus. It's Eric TV says going into debt to be a big back is wild. H2 Cole says I'm about to finance this bag of apples. Maybe we need to fast in the hood anyway. Yeah, I own the city right now with the car. Nobody is messing with me with the car. Self-Made Forever says also on Cash App, if you pay for your food or groceries or whatever, with the Cash App card, you get the money back instantly and can make payments to pay it back. Good show, AD. Thank you, Self-Made Forever. I appreciate you. Remember when the show, before we get to the next subject, remember when the show only used to be 2 hours? See, y'all done got spoiled. The show used to only be between an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now I give y'all 3 hours every day and weekends. 3 hours every day plus weekends. Somebody said, yeah, Anton, what happened to your fast? I did well. And now I'm on an intermittent fast. So I don't even want to call it an intermittent fast. I want to call it a lifestyle because I don't eat before a certain time. And I'm training myself to only eat once per day. The problem isn't that. The problem is the snacks. Man, listen, you got to remember, bro. Inside of the city, when you go into any city, most people know this, some people don't. When you go into any city, the best corner store gas station snacks are in the city. I'm talking about that Vintner's Hot, the Backers, sour cream and onion chips. They always got the Wrap Snacks chips in there, the ones with Lil Baby on it. They got both Lil Babies on there. They got the barbecue Lil Babies with the salt and vinegar, and then they got the sweet barbecue Lil Babies with the cayenne pepper. They got the best snacks in the city. That's the problem. When you go out to the suburbs, they just got the basic stuff. They got Lay's, Doritos, the basic stuff. When you come into the city, you get the snacks that got all of the salt, all of the sour cream and onion, all of the vinegar on it, all of the barbecue. The problem isn't the food. The problem is the snacks. Oh. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. I love this show. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's move back. We got to get into this court ruling. Got to get into the court ruling. Let me see something.
This is an ABC News special report.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. We're coming on the air because the Supreme Court has just released a major decision which could have a profound impact on the midterm elections. The justices issuing a ruling on a case out of Louisiana involving the Voting Rights Act, redistricting, and whether states must end any consideration of race when redrawing congressional maps. The decision potentially reducing the influence of minority voters and minority representation in Congress. Let's get right to our senior Washington correspondent, Devin Dwyer, who covers the Supreme Court for us. Devin.
Kira, this decision is 6-3, written by Justice Samuel Alito, and it's a significant decision and a setback for the landmark Voting Rights Act of 1965, which was passed to guarantee equality in how we vote. And of course, addressing the systemic and historic racial discrimination, especially across the South. This decision came in a case out of Louisiana involving a court-ordered drawing addition of a second majority Black district in that state because of the size of the state's population. And the Supreme Court today, in this decision, said that the court violated the 14th Amendment by adding, the state rather, violated the 14th Amendment by adding that district. They used race impermissibly, consciously, to add a second district to aid those voters. And they said that is simply not allowed under our Constitution. Justice Samuel Alito didn't go as far as saying race can never be used in drawing these maps. That's something the court has affirmed before to comply with the Voting Rights Act, but he put a significant new limit on how courts can order states to draw their maps to be more equitable. He said,
so I hate that word equitable. It bothers me. I hate the whole diversity, equity, and inclusion because most people use it out of context, right? And what I've seen happen, give me a second, checking this text message. The Voting Rights Act, I hate this whole this equitable, to make things more equitable. The Voting Rights Act of 1965 was put in place to prohibit racial discrimination in voting. Signed into law by Lyndon Johnson, President Lyndon Johnson, during the heights of the Civil Rights Movement, right? And then the Congress later amended the act to expand its protections. But the whole idea was to ensure that essentially Black people, right? Let's remember, because whenever we start to have these conversations, I think a lot of times we always talk about brown people, yellow people, orange people, blue people. I don't know where they get all of these other colors from. But the Civil Rights Act, right? It was signed into law during the Civil Rights Movement in order to basically protect the vote of other people outside of white people. All right. Congress later amended it, I think, up to 5 times to expand its protections. But now we're having our Supreme Court having to rule based off of how they're redrawing the lines to basically say, and the reason, and here's the caveat, right? This is why the Supreme Court ruled against it. And this is basically what's being put into place. The Supreme Court ruled against it because they basically are saying through all of their arguments that you can't use race alone to justify redrawing the lines. It's as simple as that. Race alone can't be used to justify giving a bigger credence to a group of people in a specific part of the country or in a specific state, you can't just use race by itself. Now, of course, you got liberals that will jump out of the window and they say, oh man, Anton, no. Things need to be more equitable. Shut up. Shut up. Because if you can't use it on one side, you can't use it on the other side. If you can't use it on one side, you can't use it on the other side. And so the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that you can't just broadly use and justify race alone in order to continue to do it. Now, of course, there's additional things that go into this: gerrymandering, redrawing of the lines, redistricting, Voters' Rights Act, all of this stuff. But the fact of the matter is, we can't keep expanding these things to include things that basically discriminate against a group of people that you don't necessarily care about. And that goes with regard to reversing, right? When you talk about reverse racism, when you're talking about limiting the voting potential of white people, we're so obsessed with race in this country, bro. It sickens me. It aggravates me. It makes me absolutely awesome. I mean, it gives me the ick. Is that what the women say? It give me the ick. It's absolutely awful. It's awful. And so if you basically saying, no, they need more power just because they black, that's silly. That's stupid.
That Section 2 imposes liability only when evidence supports a strong inference that the state intentionally drew its map to discriminate. So a setback for minority voters in Louisiana. And now, Kira, the impact of this decision is going to start to ripple.
Rodney Lewis, you're absolutely right. Skin color is some people's God. If some people didn't have the race conversation to lean into, they would cease to exist on YouTube. They would cease to exist on social media. They wouldn't have anything else to talk about. If some people, you could make us all the exact same color, and they would lean into some other identifier to justify why they are victimized in 2026. Oh man, it's because he's taller than me. Oh man, it's because his hair is wavier than mine. Oh man, it's because he got blue eyes and I got brown eyes. If you completely removed race from the conversation, people would absolutely, positively lean into some other thing to differentiate themselves, to group up together. Race is some people's entire existence. Oh man, it's because you was born in April and I was born in September. We got to close the gap. We got to close the gap. And we know that all by just looking at the blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment. The blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment. Have y'all ever, tell me that the majority of y'all have heard of that before, and it's okay if you haven't. Are y'all familiar with the blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment? I didn't understand your text message. What was you saying? Okay, so do you need me to what? Transfer 10 grand? When did they send it? All right, well, you don't have to take care of it right away. You going to pick up the navigator? I appreciate it. About what? We'll talk about it in a minute. Bye-bye.
Ago, Riceville Elementary third grade teacher Jane Elliott had her 16 students participate in what is now known as the Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes exercise. Earlier today, the students and teacher were reunited at the elementary school where it took place, and KIMT News 3's Maureen Dudley spoke with Elliott and a couple of her students to learn how they were impacted.
There are not words to describe how absolutely delighted and gratified I am at seeing these students who, when the principal handed me my class roll, were supposedly, according to him and their previous teachers, unable to learn to read. They're going to just pass them on and get them out of here. They'll never amount to anything anyway. That's what he told me about these 16 children.
Elliott says by the end of the year, her students were reading at a 4th through 6th grade level.
None of them were bad students. They all just hadn't had teachers who knew how to teach that particular problem, which is dyslexia.
But before that, another milestone took place. After the assassination of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968, her students participated in the Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes exercise to teach the class what it felt like to be discriminated against for a physical trait they had no control over.
The things they have, that we have talked about, that they have learned.
Hey, let's do it like this.
Learned.
Let's go to the original one.
This is a special week. Does anybody know what it is? National Brotherhood. National Brotherhood Week. What's brotherhood? Treat everyone as though he was your brother. And is there anyone in this United States that we do not treat as our brothers?
Yes.
Who?
Yeah.
The black people. Who else?
Indians.
Absolutely, the Indians. Many places in the United States. How are black people treated? How are Indians treated? How are people who are of a different color than we are treated?
They don't get anything in this world.
Why is that?
Because
So essentially, the idea of it is that they were separated based off of their eye color, and then they were discriminated against. They discriminated against each other based off of eye color. So it was something that you couldn't control. Now, I believe that we've overcorrected so much to where now we're using it as a crutch when we don't have anything that's holding us back from being successful. At some point, you got to take the training wheels off. Okay, so you get to ride a bike with wheels. You get to ride the bike with wheels, but then I get training wheels, right? So, all right, I got my training wheels popping. So do I leave it on for the rest of my life? Or do I now take the training wheels off and I have to be able to stand up on my own 2 feet? Got to take the training wheels off. And so the idea back then was that you were discriminated against people based off of something that they can't control. Nowadays, we're using it as a crutch to run in the Victim Olympics based off of something that you can't control.
Across the country.
Let's talk about that impact and bring in our legal contributor and law professor at Hofstra University, James Sample. I mean, James, this is clearly, gutting landmark legislation here.
Absolutely correct, Kira. This is a ruling that almost completely constitutionalizes a color blindness principle to the point that even race-conscious remedies designed to remedy racial discrimination are unconstitutional under the very amendments, the 14th and 15th Amendments, that the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act were designed to make real and manifest in the country. So this is a diametrical shift in voting rights practices, a diametrical shift in the area of race and racial discrimination and the remedies for racial discrimination.
James, thanks. Let's bring in again Chief White House Correspondent Mary Bruce. Now, Mary, let's just talk about what this will mean for the midterms and beyond.
Yeah, well, Kira, President Trump certainly has backed this nationwide effort to try and redraw districts ahead of the midterms to try and boost Republicans' chances. We haven't heard from the president yet about this ruling, but I suspect he certainly will have some positive comments to say about it. This is also worth noting that this announcement is coming just the morning after the president had 6 conservative Supreme Court justices on the guest list here last night for that lavish state dinner with the king. But there is no question that the president, we have seen him and other Republicans backing these efforts in many states across the country ahead of the midterms. And now, as Devin was noting, this will set off an opportunity for other states to try and follow suit. And it certainly could reduce the minority voter influence across the country going forward.
We'll be following it for sure. Mary, James, Devin, thank you all so much. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is not a real big deal for me. I don't really care either way, to be honest with you. It gets so much more complicated when you start talking about gerrymandering and drawing lines in specific districts. But I don't believe that you should be able to draw lines based off of race alone. Using race alone as your justification makes no sense whatsoever. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notification. I even thought about making that the cover photo of today's show, and it's like, I don't really care, to be honest with you. I really don't even care that much. Doesn't mean anything to me.
Another news alert tonight. Baton Rouge rapper Cleasy 5, whose real name is Wes Clark, is dead after a shooting this afternoon in Baton Rouge.
Sources close to the WBRZ investigative unit say Clark was shot outside of a gym along Woodcrest Drive. News Joe Collins has reaction tonight from neighbors.
Yeah, Sylvia, Michael, the shooting came as a shock to many residents who tell me that is usually a quiet area. Around 12:30 p.m., Baton Rouge police responded to a shooting along Woodcrest Drive just off of Greenwell Springs Road. Sources close to the WBRZ investigative unit say that Wes Clark was killed in a shooting outside of a gym along Woodcrest. Clark, who is known by his rap name Cleasy 5, has ties with TBG, the Top Boy Guerrilla rap collective.
How old is this? How old are these people, bro? How old are these people, bro? Honestly. How old are y'all? What are y'all doing? What ties to the RGBTQ collective? What? Who do y'all think y'all are? Y'all think y'all the mafia? Y'all want to be like everybody else. Don't y'all realize that the very people that y'all mimic? I remember it was a time when everybody was trying to be like Scarface, bro. Let me see if I can switch this back over to my other connection. Give me a second. We good? We got back together? All right, I switched back over to my other connection. I remember when people used to want to be like Scarface. They watched the movie Scarface, and now they wanted to be just like Scarface. It's funny because everybody that we look at and we want to be like, they never make it. They all end up dead. They all go to jail. They all get arrested. They all get kicked out of Vegas. All of this stuff, bro. It's like, who are we? We so old. We too old. to be going with this same narrative on a wreck. We too old, big dog. Let it go. Like, have y'all ever grown up and was like, all right, bro, you know what? I'm not going to do that no more. I'm not, you know what? Time for me to let that go. I need to get a real job. I'm not going to wear my hair like this no more. Like, do y'all ever grow up or grow out of certain things? It's certain every day is something new that I look at and I say, all right, man, you know what? I think it's time to throw this away. I don't really want that no more. I don't want it no more. Doesn't mean anything to me anymore. It's some stuff that it's some people I don't make an announcement about, but I just be like, it's time for me to let go. You know, they doing some wild stuff. I'm gonna just move over here and just do my own thing. Like, at what point do you be like, you know what? I'm not really a gang member anymore. I want to have a better life. I want to be barbecuing in my backyard. I don't want crack to be around my children. Like, when you have kids, a lot of times also, that's supposed to be, that's the ultimate aha moment. The minute that you get kids, the minute that your girl get pregnant, that's when you're supposed to be like, you know what? Like, every decision that you make is supposed to be like a limitless pill. And that's when you like, Now, if I go and ride out on this dude and I go to jail, that means that I won't be around for my child. Or if I go over in this spot and I'm still hanging in the same spot, and see, it was different when it was just me, but now I got people that's dependent on me. I can't do the same things that I did before. I can't move the same way that I was moving before. I can't be in the same spaces that I was in before because my people need me. And the minute that you get your girl pregnant and then it hits you again when you have a child, it's like, all right, time to put away all of the BS. Let's put away the games. We got to do things differently. And you make sacrifices. The reason why I never built a studio or I never moved into a studio and that I spent the majority of my time working from home throughout my daughter's entire life, in the beginning of her life, until she was 16, 17 years old and able to drive, then that's when I built the studio, is because I knew that she needed to see me every day. I couldn't work late without being around her. That 30, 45-minute drive and stuff, I couldn't do that. And so I had to make the sacrifice so that I can raise her in a conducive environment and in a way to where she actually knew and seen and experienced a man playing a significant role inside of her life. So I had to put away the BS. Can't go to the same places that I'm going to. Can't hang out in the same places that I need to hang out at. Got to be home every night at a certain time. Got to do this, got to do that, got to be there. She needs to see me getting up and going to work every single day. I need to be at the parent-teacher conferences. I got to pick her up from school sometimes. Even though she got a mother that picks her up from school, I want to pick her up sometimes because I need to meet her teachers. She's excited when daddy comes up there because he's like, oh man, it's my daddy, it's my daddy. They need to see that. I can't be out there with y'all talking about I'm a part of the gorilla group when I got a baby. I can't do that. Some of y'all missed out on that because you was in jail the whole time. You don't know what it feels like to sit there and have your daughter on your lap, pretending like thinking that she's driving, doing like this, and you got your hand on the wheel really up under it. And you're like, yeah, you drive. Oh my God, I'm driving. You don't know what it's like to take her to her, her driver's test. You never got an opportunity to teach her how to drive because you missed that part of life. You don't know what that's like. You don't know what it's like to be at every single competition. Everyone. You never miss. Just got back from Manchester. And every time that she win a medal, the first thing that she do is she run up to you and she throw it around your neck. Because you locked up. Or in this case, you dead. And all of the real ones ain't going to help you raise your daughter. The part of the gang that you in, the guerrilla group, they not going to be there for your daughter. It's messed up. And then we pass on generational curses to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation, and to the next generation. And then they get raised without a father, and they get raised without a father, and they get raised without a father. Somebody got to break the curse.
And Baton Rouge rapper Fredo Bang. Wednesday afternoon, police units and a coroner's van sat outside the building. Several people who live near the gym say they were in shock when they saw the caution tape.
And I come out of my subdivision and I saw the police cars.
He looked just like Dominique Wilkins. Dog looked just like Dominique Wilkins. Yo, that's his Dominic. That's his doppelganger. Dog is Dominique Wilkins. He looked just like Dominique Wilkins. That's crazy. Yo. Wow. That's insane. He looked just like Dominique Wilkins, bro. I thought that was Dominique Wilkins for a second. I said, they got Dominique Wilkins down there in Baton Rouge? Dog, he... Yeah, that's Dom's. That's got to be Dom's dad. Yep, that's Dom's dad. That's him. He do. Dog don't look like Dominique Wilkins. Bro, he looked just like Dominique Wilkins. I don't know what y'all talking about. That's Dominique needs to get in touch with Dog. They got the same hair, same hairline, the same everything. That's Dominique's dad, boy. Just ain't got as much money.
Body laying out there and I saw the accident, what happened. Nobody said that somebody just got shot.
One woman who lives right by the gym says she heard what sounded like 5 gunshots. Many residents told me they were at work when it happened, but heard about it from the news or relatives who saw the news.
It's pretty much a quiet area, and you don't hear about what's going on. The kids are always playing around here. It seems pretty safe. But unfortunately, things like that happen, in all communities. It just so happened to be our unlucky day. I don't think it reflects negatively on this community at all.
So far, no arrests have been reported and no additional information has been released about Clark's death.
That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Prometheus says 70% of melanated mothers have 0 fathers. What's the best approach to this dilemma, Anton? I don't know. What do you mean? What's the best approach to this dilemma? Take care of yourself. Look at yourself. Fix your own situation. Focus on doing what's best for your family. not worrying about what everybody else got going on. If you get the opportunity to bring visibility to it and talk about it, but don't participate in it, and make sure that you're not one of the statistics that add to the whole situation. Divest yourself from that culture and live better lives and be a living example of what other people should do differently. That's what I think that the best solution is. The best solution, in my opinion, is to be the example of the thing that you would like to see. That's the best way for you to fix it.
Who's good? What? Who's good? What? 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 Want me to let him know?
Or you can get it back. I'll make sure you get it back.
I don't got bread.
Yeah, or
Yeah, I came with Uber, yeah.
Uber?
I came with Uber, yeah.
You get Uber?
Do I have Uber? No.
Yes. Hey, start recording now.
I got you.
You ain't a fool of that nigga.
Nah, never.
Yo, Adrien Broner is in a very, 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 very bad place, bro. Very, very bad place. So I've been seeing all of these people sending me these clips of Adrien Broner. Basically, now, you know how all of the live streamers, like the Neons or whatever, I don't know who this live streamer is that got Adrien Broner on their live stream, but a lot of these younger live streamers, you know, they go and meet with celebrities, or they link up with people that's has-beens, or they get with other people that got a lot of motion, and that's how they built their following, is their interaction with people in their live streaming 100% of the time. And so Adrien Broner is on one of these young live streamers' live streams, and, you know, they bringing girls around and all of the time, and it looks like he's drunk 1,000% of the time. That, you know, it's showing how out of shape he is. He drunk, he's screaming at the women, he going off on the women and telling them that they hoes. In this particular instance, he goes in and he's asking the guy to get him an Uber, and he also asks him, can he borrow $1,000, and can he get, you know, he'll get it back to him or whatever, right? So I've done previous reaction videos where Adrien Broner be in a club or whatever, and he don't pay his tab and all of this stuff. At this point, now that we know that Adrien Broner has a problem, right? And I do think that people need to take ownership and responsibility for their situation. And it's easy to use him as a punching bag when he all the way down. I think that this is exploitive, bro. Honestly. These live streamers are exploiting his pain. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't need to take accountability and responsibility. He already has to own the situation that he's lost his career, that he's, you know, obviously having alcoholism problems, and that he doesn't have the resources. And so now he's doing stuff and they're recording him, and you can tell that they was exploiting him by pointing the camera on him and having him basically grovel and ask for money to get to where they got to go. And that's the part that I don't like. That's the part that I don't like. So I'm going to put a different type of offer out there. I don't even want to see all this, but I got to play some so that y'all understand what's going on. So I'm going to make a different type of offer because I know that people in a difficult situation, a lot of times they do things that they wouldn't normally do, and they're willing to embarrass themselves in order to get pennies. So I'm going to make a different type of offer because we always want to make it seem like we down for each other. And I don't necessarily care for Adrien Broner, but I don't want to see nobody in no bad space being exploited like this. So I'm going to make a different type of offer to Adrien Broner. And if you are Adrien Broner's people, if you really care about him, if it's anybody that y'all, I know he from Ohio, so it's right up the street. My offer has nothing to do with an interview. It has nothing to do with content. It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm willing to pay for his treatment for him to get himself together in his sobriety. That's my offer. My offer has nothing to do with on camera. My offer has nothing to do with documenting the process. My offer is I'm offering for him to enter a treatment facility, and I will be willing to pay 100% of the cost. But to get him out of this space and to get him off of these live streams so that he can stop being exploited by these people. I think that Adrien Broner is talented. I think that he's funny. I think that he has a huge future and maybe live streaming or podcast, and then he can start his own thing. But he can't do that as long as he's being exploited by the people that surround him. And the people that were supposed to hold him down is now abandoning him. So if anybody can get in touch with Adrien Broner, and this ain't got nothing to do with no camera. I don't want no live stream. I don't need no interview. I don't want nothing. He ain't going to owe me nothing. But I am willing to pay for him to get sober and whatever that takes. Because I think that people are evil, man. And they're profiting off of your pain. And then I'll help him set up his own thing if possible. Or I can put him in touch with the people to set him up his own thing, so that he can start getting his own money and he can move into the next phase of his career. Because boxing is obviously over. And so he needs to get clean, bro. The first thing is he got to get his mind right, and he needs to get around people that'll actually add value into his life. So I am willing to pay for whatever that takes. But he got to get out of his environment. He got to get around them people. He can't keep doing this. So how these people is exploiting him is sad, bro. You don't, if somebody is not in their right mind, it's one thing to be broke, but it's another thing to where you're exploiting somebody because they're substance abused or they got problems that they're going through. And so I believe it's a difference between content and exploitation. And when people don't even know what's going on because they're in this mindset to where they're always drugged up, they always inebriated, they always in this space, that becomes exploitive because you're profiting off of his pain. Now, I don't really care how he got there. I don't care if he blew his money. I don't care about none of that stuff. At some point, we got to turn off the camera and say, all right, hold on for a second, bro. This look bad. This is bad. This is bad. And so I believe my belief system, and this is the difference between what I think Christianity is and what believing in God is and what the world think that Christianity is. I believe that the way that you show you love God, it's not that you necessarily the perfect human being to walk on the face of the earth. I believe that the way that you show you love God is by showing that you do for when you see an opportunity to do for those that are the least amongst us, you do it. The only way you can show that you truly love God, because you can't do nothing for God. The only thing that you can do is you can do for the people that he put on this earth as much as you possibly can without hurting yourself. Christianity is not about necessarily being perfect. It's about seeking perfection, but it's also about loving those that God put on your heart to love and to do it the right way. People have the wrong mindset of what it is. So I'm not even going to play any more of this video, honestly, because I just think it's sad. I really think it's sad. I'm not going to play no more of the video. I've seen it. A lot of people keep sending it to me to review it and play it and all of this stuff. I'm not doing that, bro. He's not in a position to defend himself. He's not in a position to take care of himself. Ike says, I think it would be a waste, but if AD is willing to help the people in the streets of Detroit, why not help Broner? I just gave a bunch of money out to the people before I got to the office. How was it a waste? How? That's a whole man. That's a soul. How is it a waste? What's a waste? Money is nothing more than a tool, and if we can't use it for good just as much as we use it to drive the Lambos, because it's cool to drive the Lambos, it's cool to live a good life, but if you're not balancing it while also taking care of and adding value into people's lives, then what good is it to make money? It's a chance. It's a chance. Sometimes people need somebody to believe in them in order for them to get back on point and for them to believe in themselves. It's a chance, bro. How is it a waste? We spend all day, every day making money, right? People talk about the most negative stuff all every day and talk about how good of a person that they are. So when you finally get in a position to do it, then why are you not doing it? What if he turned his life over to God? What if he gets saved? What if it's a seed planted and then he wind up helping somebody else, or he has a much bigger reach and impact and he then pays it forward and do stuff for the other people? It's an opportunity. He spent his whole life around people that did nothing but take advantage of the money that he was making. He spent his whole life around people that was like, okay, cool. I'm not worried about the hate, Spacely. I don't have to. That's the thing about Christianity, is that being Christianity don't mean that I have to prove to you that I'm a Christian. I'm speaking about the values that's meaningful to me as a Christian. It doesn't mean that I need your approval for belief. The fact of the matter is, we need to reach out to Adrien. And I don't want to put this on the heart of nobody else. This is my thing. This is me as a content creator. This don't got nothing to do with nobody else. But what I am saying is, if we really about that life, and if we really about helping people and looking out for people, and you see an opportunity, it don't have to be it don't have to be him. It could be anybody. It could be the person that's in your own streets, in your community. It could be the person, because it's people every day that you don't see that we pour into, right? It could literally be anybody. But if you see an opportunity to add value without it taking away from what you're doing for your family, without it taking away from your own self, without it taking away from your finances or resources, if it don't hurt, we'll go out and spend a bunch of money on hoes. You go to okay, so sacrifice. So you don't go to Roof Chris today. So you don't you don't go out and you don't go on vacation. So you don't do this particular time. And instead you say, you know what, I'm going to take this money, and it don't take away from my value. It don't take away from what it is that I got going on every day. And I'm a pour into this person instead. How does that a bad thing? Uncle Time Talk says you talk some pearl to swine right now. I don't think so. I don't think so. I believe in people, man. Sometimes I lose my faith in what's happening in humanity, and other times I believe in people, bro. So that's my offer. I wanted to end the show on a completely different note. I don't know him. I've never met him before. I've never interacted with him before. I don't need, like I said, I don't need no interview. I don't need none of that. I don't need none of that. But what I am offering is to get him off of these live streams and to pay for whatever treatment that he needs to get himself together and to help him out in that way. That's what I'm offering. That's my offer. And so if anybody, I'm going to reach out to him. Matter of fact, Yakar, if you can do me a favor and see what you can find for us to be able to reach out to him and his people, we'll reach out to him ourselves. But in addition to that, if anybody knows AB or anybody in this corner and can reach out to him and send him this, that offer is on the table. You got to walk through the door though, big dog. So you have to choose it. Nobody can make you. Nobody can bully you into it. You have to choose to want to do better. And as long as I'm alive and as long as I have resources, that offer is on the table. That offer is on the table today. That offer is on the table next month. That offer is on the table next year. But I would prefer for you to choose it right now because you got a bright future ahead of you. And I believe that you can be great. I believe that you have more to offer this world than what you did in boxing. A lot of people's second career is bigger than their first one. And so don't let people define you based off of what you used to be. We not focus on that. We focus on the future. So if anybody knows him, reach out to him and, we'll figure it out from there. It's your choice, but you got to walk through the door. Let me go ahead and finish it up on that note. So, I love you, bro, honestly. And I don't want you to be getting exploited like that. And I'm willing to put my own money up just to do it. And I don't want nothing in return. You don't owe me nothing. You don't owe me nothing, but you still got to walk through the door. All right? All right. All right. AD fanning out. What's wrong with you? You all right, big dog? You good? You all right, bro? Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. We got after hours tonight. And it's going to be a great show. I'm going to holler at y'all tonight. Peace.